Hey YouTube, this is going to be my next project that I want to document as I do it. I'm going to make a little portable router table that fits between the leaf and the main part of my table saw. I'm putting a board in here. These, if you can see the lines, will go up underneath here. I have those pipes. I'm going to attach them to the bottom like so, and they'll just kind of rest right up on top of those poles like that. And then for the inside, I'm going to take this plexiglass that I have, and I may double it to give it a little bit more strength, durability, but we'll have to wait and see how they say it. This will be cut down to fit my mini router, and it'll be indented so it's flush with the wood. So that's my project that I've started, and I'll document more as I progress. Okay, here's an update. I made two supports that go on the rods like that. I went over here like that. If I can get it in like that, and then this is going to fit over the top like that. There is going to be my router table, and that's where I'm at so far. A couple days later, and I'm back out into the garage working on my little portable router table. As you can see, I've got my runners attached to the top. I've also cut out the hole on the bottom where my cheap little Harbor Freight router is going to mount. That fits right in there like that. And then on the front side, I've taken a piece of fiberglass, not fiberglass, but plexiglass, and I've made myself a little platform for the router bit to go through. Also, in order to use the fence, since what I was going to do is put this on here and then let the table saw fence itself come all the way through, but in order to do that, if I walk around here, I've got these grooves right here where the fence rides, and I thought it would be too much of a problem to try to get that fence to go across on that wood. So instead, I'm going to use the original fence that's on the table saw, and I made this box that goes over the top of it, nice tight fit, and then I will extend an adjustable fence that will come out here and be able to use on the router table, so I can keep the clamp and keep this nice and square on the table itself. Okay, as far as the router goes, that will fit in there like that. And then I made this piece that will go in right here, and that will hold that down so it can't fall down on me. And then these runners will go on the bottom here like that. And then I'm going to make this spring loaded somehow so it doesn't move back on me. But then this will just slide back and forth, and that will hold that in place. I thought about just using the existing screws on this, but like I said, it is a Harbor Freight router, and I wasn't sure exactly how strong that plastic was and if it would hold it up. So instead of screwing anything into that plastic or doing and messing it up and end up breaking my router piece, I decided to go this route. That way the whole piece is supported, not just the little piece of plastic where the screws would go in. And that's how far I am right now. I guess when I get it all together, I'll shoot the last video on it. YouTube, I have finished my router table that is going to attach to my table saw. Okay, as you can see, I made this slide right here. It slides back and forth. Well, it's kind of hard to do with one hand because I'm holding the camera, but because it's kind of tight, which I kind of wanted it tight. But anyway, what I'll do is I'll set the router on there, set the camera down, set the router, and you'll see what it looks like when it's together. Here's the router. By the way, this router I got at Harbor Freight for $29. I don't know if anybody else has had any kind of experiences with this little router, but so far I think it's been a pretty good little router. I've used it a couple of times and it seems to work pretty good. Anyway, the router sits down in that hole right there, and then I'm going to set the camera down and lock it in place. Okay, as you can see, it's in place now. I put this little knob on here to help slide it back and forth, but it's still pretty tight. I had to use two hands, but the router's in there. It ain't going nowhere. There's no play at all in it. So I'd rather have it tight than too loose. Anyway, and then this, as I showed you in the first video, has got slots that slide down on this bar on my table saw. And that goes down there. Kind of hard to do with one hand. I'm holding the camera. I know I've been wanting to make a tripod or something for the camera, so I got both hands free, but ain't done it yet. Anyway, and as you can see, there is the router. So far I've only put a 1/4 inch hole in it because I've only used a 1/4 inch router bit. But I can loosen it up here on the bottom and then bring the router through like that. There, you can see it. Tighten it down. And there's my router table. And as for the fence, I made this little box to go on the top of my table saw fence so I can use the same squareness and stuff of the table saw. That just goes on there nice and tight. And then these little brackets here and here I had from an old router table that the router went out on it. The router didn't work. But I took these brackets to make my fence. And this, what happens is this slides into the slot like there. I don't know if you saw that or not. You see how it's on the bottom of my box. I cut out a slot so the fence can slide up underneath there like that. And then I come over here. Let me go this way. I got so much crap in the way right now. I've got a big mess to clean up. Take my fence, move it down where I want it, like right there. That's as far as it goes. As you can see, it hits the table here. So that's as far as the fence goes as far as on the table saw. However, I can loosen these screws up and move this way. Just by loosening these screws up. It's kind of hard to do with one hand. But anyway, those slide, as you can see. If I had both hands, I could show you better. But as you can see, it slid in there. This fence will slide all the way up to the bit as far as I need it to go. And I've got myself, let's tighten it down and we'll see how square it is. Pop that in there where it belongs. Here's my square. Bring it up on here. And as you can see, that's pretty square. So I think it's going to work out pretty good. If it is up a little bit, although I have slots on the bottom here, let me take these off and I'll show you. Oops, sorry about that. Take these nuts off and the little washer. And this one. And the little washer. And this pops just right off here. they're in slots, so they're going to slide a bit hard, and I'll have to use both hands to do it until it kind of wears in a little bit. I'm going to set the phone down here just for a second. Okay, see the slots I made here? I made a little thin dowel on the bottom of these braces, are these little squares right here, and they're about an 1/8 inch, protrude about an 3/16 of an inch out. So I made 3/6 inch deep and made these little slots. Dados is that's what I was looking for, and those little squares slide back and forth on those dados, and you can adjust it that way. Like I said, it's kind of tight right now, and because I know it'll loosen up as I work. Plus it rained today, so the wood is swollen a little bit, but I think it's going to work real well. Anyway, that's my router table, and I guess tomorrow I'll come out here and do some routing and see how it works, and I'll give you another report. All right, here's a quick update. I was looking at this when I shut the camera off, and these slots don't go far enough. I still got a good probably 3/4 of an inch between the bit and the fence. So I guess what I'm going to have to do is tomorrow is remake this piece and make it wider, so this comes out just a little bit further. I probably need to make it probably about 2 inches longer, so this would be like about a 5-inch wide piece here on the bottom. That way these can slide in and out better, and I'll have enough room here so I can put this fence right up against the bit if I need to. Anyway, that's my update, and we'll see how it works tomorrow.